and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and in this episode we are going to have another look at 3 Windows 10 mobile games, and in this case we are going to have a look at Ghostlight, Fling Theory and Professional Racer. My name is Gerald. As always, I've got a couple of different things with me, which are of course this Bluetooth mouse, so I can play everything here. I'm going to use my Foldable keyboard, which is a Bluetooth device too. And in general, we could have the Xbox One wireless controller, but it's not going to be part of this episode because there's no game that really is well played with this one in this episode. And other than that, of course, everything is done as always with my Windows 10 mobile empowered Lumia 950 XL, which is this one. It has a Mozo cover at the back, which is a wooden back cover here. It has a USB-C connector at the bottom with a USB-C connector or cable I put in there. And that one is going to my display dock, and that one is connected to my TV in this case, which of course is connected by HDMI to it. And other than that, everything is going to be produced or created or computed by more or less this device, so the smartphone itself, but it's going to be looking a little bit like a computer, so it has this desktop flair, desktop-like experience we are going to see here. Some of the games can be played with it in this episode, one can't, so we are going to switch over, and I will show you how to switch between those two modes and show it on the big screen in the handy mode, so the mirror mode, and in the normal Continuum mode. And other than that, I would say if you want to know more about Continuum, what Continuum is, Microsoft Continuum, or was better to say, and have a look at the corner up there. There are a couple of other videos where I'm going to talk about that more in depth. And other than that, let's start with the first game. The first game is going to be Ghostlight. Yeah, and for that, I'm just going to use my mouse to navigate to my, more or less the start menu. And if I go in here, you can already see there are a couple of games which are gray. Gray means they can't be played in this mode. You would have to switch over to the other one to play it. And I'm going to play Ghostlight in this case for the first one, which can be played in Continuum mode. So let's click on that. And I'm going to turn around to play the games because otherwise I'm really going to even more suck than I do at the moment. So give me a sec to just move around. And let's wait till the game is loaded. There we are. Ghostlight is a small little game where you are going to more or less navigate on a path with some kind of a light, so a ghost light probably, and that one is going to more or less have to avoid different kinds of obstacles which are going to be presented in the game. It's very simple to play. Pretty nice game if you ask me. There are a couple of options to go with different types here, so you can go with a tap, you can go with swipes. You can go, which I really prefer over everything else. You can even use your keyboard like I'm going to do. And with the arrow keys to the left and right, you can really just go between the different kinds of stages. You can go there. And it would be the same if you're using the swipe method, for instance. But swiping on the Continuum mode means that you are going to use a swipe motion with your mouse, which is pretty much, I don't like that very much, let's say it like that. It's not the worst, you can do it, but in the end, I really prefer something like a keyboard in this case. And all you will have to do now is to avoid those obstacles, and by pressing more or less left and right, you can do that. And of course you can see there are these little small light parts which are blinking there. Those are going to give you more points, and all you will have to do is really to avoid everything. If you're just leaving them the keys not pressed, you're going to go to the normal page. To the normal part here, and or the path in the middle. And if you're just pressing left or right, in this case, you're going to one of the sides. And of course, you can like that, collect more of the different points. and of course avoid the different obstacles. It's really, really simple. All you will have to do here is do exactly that. You can take a couple of hits, I'm not sure how many, maybe 3 or something, I'm not sure, before you are going to die. But in the end, it's all just about being fast and trying to avoid everything here. So make sure, yeah, and of course getting all the points, and if you're doing that, make sure that you're very fast. Other thing just to mention it, if you use something like a Bluetooth keyboard, it might have a small little more delay than before, so the input lag, it's called in other parts. Oh, thank you. So if you're bad enough, you're going to get a recommendation to play another game they created. Very nicely done, thank you. Which is easier to play. I am a little bit offended by that, but that's fine. Somehow I like that. Somehow I find that very, very charming. Anyway, in the end, all you will have to do is now slide it around and go with the different parts. Be aware that you need a little bit to switch over the lanes. So if you're really doing it very shorthand, okay, died again, doesn't matter. But if you're switching lanes, you are needing a little bit of time to go over, and that will of course might break you down depending on. And of course, if you are at one part and in between there's an obstacle, you're going to hit the obstacle anyway, even if you are switching lanes at that moment. So very simple to understand game, very easy to play, pretty fun to play somehow, but of course a little bit simple. But in the end, just try it out if you like this kind of puzzle games, whatever you want to call that. I really think it's a nice one, and you can try it out for just getting rid of a couple of minutes on a bus station or whatever you're going to do there. Okay, second part. I am going to switch over now, because now the second game we are going to play is the Fling Theory, which is a pretty nice game, but it's only available in the mirror mode, so we are going to have to go over. To do that, just take your smartphone in this case, and if you click on the 3-point menu at the top there, you can go in here in the device or display settings, and if you go down a little bit, there are the extended ones, and here you can just switch over. Now we are in there, and now as you can see, we are just mirroring the screen of this device to this device, so no more desktop-like experience, but a mirrored experience in this case. Everything else is more or less the same. You can still use stuff like that, or if a game, for instance, would support it, it's very seldomly done, but sometimes you find some. The Xbox One wireless controller can even be used with a mirrored game, but yeah, the reason why that is very, very uncommon is the mirrored games ones are in general the older ones, because the newer ones are often already Windows 10 Mobile or Windows 10 enabled ones, Continuum enabled ones. It depends what you want to do there. Okay, anyway, let's go in here, go to the All Apps list again, and as you can see now the grayed out ones are available too. And here is the Fling Theory, which I want to show you. In the end, what is the Fling Theory? It's more or less something like a physics game with really physical parts in there, because this more or less is an atom which is charged and stuff like that. And there are a couple of different things we can do here with it. And in the end, what you are going to do is you are going to learn kind of probably magnetism or something like that is involved there, because they're really going to give you something that is charged, and there are neutral ones and there are positive and negative ones, and depending on the play style you're going to do it, or the different puzzles, because it's a puzzle game in the end, you are going to have a couple of different experiences here. So let's have a look at that. If I just click on that, because the first game I already played that, as you can see, you unhinge the first world here. If I go back just to show you, you will have the intro, then you are going to unlock the different other ones, but you will have to play the intro in this case. So if we go in here, As you can see, we have a couple of different levels in the intro, and if I click on the first one, for instance, they are going to show you a little bit of a teaser or something. So the starting part, where more or less there is some kind of a scientist who is going to charge up one of the atoms, which is now, I don't know, badass or something, I'm not sure what you would call that. But in the end, as you can see, there are a couple of different neutral ones, so neutrons, probably, I'm not really sure, I think it just charged up. So if you do this now, all you have to do is bring it to the goal. So there are a couple of different parts here where you can go to the goal, and how do you do that? Just drag and drop it over, more or less, and just make sure that more or less this part, so the indicator here, is showing to the goal itself. And of course, in between, it's good to collect points or collect those coins you're going to see over there, or those stars, or whatever you want to do there. And as you can see, we are now in the next one, and as you can see, this one is negatively charged, and we are going to bounce off of it. So make sure that you're bouncing the right way off of it, because you want, of course, to go to the goal. To do that, you will have to fly more or less this kind of curve, and that is only possible with a force which is going to be emitted, or it's not an emitted force, whatever, that you are going to reflect it from the other one. So as you can see, the indicator is now showing you, okay, I will have to do something like this, more or less. And now it's a little bit like a billiard game, a pool game or something, but we will see what's going on here. As you can see, pretty easy to do. Of course, we're in the introduction, so that's normal. And yeah, if you want to charge up something, of course, you are the red one, so the in general red stands for the negative charged ones, and the gray ones are neutral. So by just hitting it once, you're going to charge it up, and after that you are going to have this this negative charged one again, which you can use to bounce off from and stuff like that. So let's have a look again. Just do something like this, because this is just normal in this case, and it doesn't matter because you really can do it a couple of times. I'm not sure what this is going to be. Probably this indicator shows that you have two of them. And here, for instance, because you are at the moment in your in the tutorial or the introduction, you get this little small indicator. Hey, somewhere here you should go. Problem is, if I do that, I would hit it. If I'm hitting it, I'm going to die. So I'm just trying something like this. This should be fine. Okay, not enough. Close to it, but not good enough in this case. So let's try it like this. And we got in, and everything should be fine. So it's all about the forces we are seeing here with magnetism, you know, with magnetism and stuff like that. And so you will really play the different games through, and it's pretty fun to do if you ask me. It has a little bit of a educational factor in there too, but it's really nothing to write home about. It's not hard or in any kind of way annoying to get this educational background, because you don't have to learn it or something. You can if you want to. You might learn even something, but it's a nice little education here, and yeah, just try it out. I really think it's well done. Other than that, let's go back. And yeah, in this episode I'm going to switch back even to the other mode now, because I have another game which is playable in the Continuum mode. And for that you can, for instance, just activate the app itself. I just put it on my start screen here to be able to click it faster. And if I click on that, you are going to see the big Continuum mode again, which is going to be shown up, and we can now use the desktop-like experience again. Okay, and the last game we are going to play today is, of course, Professional Racer. Professional Racer is a very nice little game. In the end, there are a couple of other games I already know about, which are pretty, equal to this. but this one really gives you a chance, more or less. In many of the games I played before, especially in the ones which are endless or meant to be endless, they are going to kill you off in these games very, very rapidly, or it's just going to be very, very dull in the end. And yeah, in this case, it's much better done, and I want to show you how to play this and what to play with it. Okay, so first off, you can play this game with your keyboard and with your mouse again. So I would highly recommend you to try it out on the big screen. And you can of course play all these games with touch interfaces and stuff like that. The normal gaming experience on your smartphone itself is always working. And so that is possible too. You just go to your all apps list in this case. And again, since this is a Continuum enabled one, you can see it here. It's already selectable. Okay, so if we go in, it's just a small little racer car game, more or less, where you're going to have to avoid obstacles which are coming on you, and in the end it's more or less like driving. That's more or less what's going on here. It's going to have a couple of different options for you. So for instance, if you are in here, and I'm just going to go here, okay, there's some kind of an advertisement, doesn't really matter. I'm just going to click, and here you can see this is the car you're going to drive around in this case, and you have a couple of different options here. So first off, the settings options, you can play it with your mouse or with your keyboard. I would highly recommend you to go with the keyboard in this case. And if you did that, then you can, for instance, go to this part, so auto, so the car itself. You can now more or less do different things to your car. For instance, you could increase the velocity, you could increase the navigatability, steerability, whatever, and the brakes and stuff like that. And so even the colors are going to be available sooner or later to be switched over. And you can of course go with different kinds of cards here, whatever you want to play. All of them are in this voxel style part, so a very simple style, but still a nice little part. So just try them out. At the first play or the first couple of plays runs, you're going to have to use the normal one, and you don't have the money to upgrade it at the moment. As you can see, I played one round until now, so in the end, as you can see, we have the option to buy nothing in the end. So we can't buy at the moment because we need more money. But after probably the second one, we are going to be able to update one of those. If you're happy with that, just click on the home button again. And now, if you click on the racing, you have a couple of different modes to play in. So in the end, you can go with the one lane part, or whether to say one direction part. Everyone is going to go in this direction, and you are just going to have to navigate through the different cars there. You could have someone who is coming from the opposite direction, so both sides are going to be occupied with different kinds of directional traffic. And there is a couple of other things, like for instance, you can go with the timing experience and a daily challenge. I'm not sure what the daily challenge is at the moment, so let's try first. I already did the one lane part. Let's do the one where you have different kinds of directions in there. And as mentioned before, you can use your keyboard with those buttons to drive around. If you start it for the first time, you're going to get a little bit of an introduction, more or less, because in the end, use the keyboard left-right parts to switch lanes, of course, and you are not stuck to one of the lanes here. You can really switch it over like you want to. If you press the up button, you are getting the first point, because just driving around in the normal part, you're not going to receive any points. You will have to be speeding, more or less. And one interesting part of this is that if you are driving, you can even brake, which is very interesting in this kind of game, because that gaming mechanic is really what is going to help you to really play it for a while, because otherwise all the other games I'm aware of are going to make it very hard to play this longer than, let's say, 20 seconds or 30 seconds or something in general. and like this you really should be able to drive along, and it's pretty much working. Okay, ran into a police car. Perfect. Anyway, of course you should not run into other cars. If you are going to hit one, you're going to get back to this screen and you're more or less lost. You have a couple of different points here, and as you can see, you get a couple of coins to buy stuff later on with what you played. And this wouldn't be enough to upgrade something, because I only have 660, get around 140, so I'm not going to have 1000. I'm just going to play it again, and now we are just going to try it a little bit even. Again, hit the accelerator to really get money from it, or points at the end. And of course you can see there are a couple of different indicators showing how far you have come to this point. So you get this experience one, you get close to car crashes, or whatever you want to call that. So if you are very close to another one, much faster than the other one, then you're going to get this accidents, whatever, and indicators, which for instance now there is one. I didn't hit him, but I got very close. I'm just going to turn over to the other lane here, which is of course a much harder thing to do, because those are very fast in comparison to the ones I'm going to just overtake in this case. And yeah, in the end it's very easy to play this for a while, and after a while you're going to struggle, as always. But it's really a pretty nice experience here. You can play this for a long time, and as you can see we have now round about 25, what is it, kilometers? I don't think that we drove that far till now, but whatever. Anyway, some kind of range indicator is there, telling you how far you got, how many points you got till now, and of course how you can drive this. Yeah, and so this is more or less the game. Just try to stay alive as long as you can, update your vehicle after a while, and be happy more or less. Of course that's more or less what we are going to play here. And of course you can play different kinds of modes. This is the mode where you have more or less counter directional cars coming at you on the other lane. And there are of course other parts too. I am going to just more or less drive into one of the other cars here, just to show you how this is done. Yeah, don't do it. But in the end, what I wanted to show you is that you can go in here. Of course you could drive on if you want to watch one of the advertisements here, which are coming occasionally, but it's fine. It's not something bad. The only bad thing is that you really have to watch it through. As you can see, there is an indicator. It's 30 seconds till you can skip this. Yeah, you just will have to live with that. That's how they get money, and in the end it's not the worst in this case. Maybe even one of the games is going to be something you want to play, so just get it then, because why not? And in the end, just try the game out if you like it. I really pretty much do. It's one of the better ones of this genre, and I hope you will have fun with it. And I would say, let's see if we can buy something now. Now we can just skip it. Okay, thank you. Here we have it. Now we should be able to buy something. So I'm just going to go to Auto in this case. So Auto means car in German. And like that you can just have a look at that. And for instance, as you can see, you could increase the velocity in the end, or how fast you can switch lanes and stuff like that. So just try it out. I probably will go with this one first. I find it more interesting to be able to switch faster than anything else here. And after that you can just go to this button again and try the next game or the next one. And other than that, this is the end of the episode. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. If you have any kind of comments, questions, whatever, put them down below in the commentary section. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the channel. I would be very grateful for that. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, have a great time, and bye. Bye!